Hi, Jamie again. These are my pets. They're eating branches and leaves, and we're going to paint while they do it. Today we're going to paint a fish, like a betta fish, with long, flowy fins and such. I did pre-paint the background, a black gloss paint. Hi, sweetheart. Yeah. Hi. They're all getting a treat, but not you. Yeah, you've already had treats today. We're all good. Okay. So, colors on our palette. The black gloss, white, two blues, like a dark blue and a medium blue, a purple, and a pinkish purpley color, really light color. Cup of water for rinsing, paper towel for drying our brushes. And these are 10 brushes that came in a 10 pack. That so I make take home paint kits that see advertised on whatever, order them, paint at home with instructions and a picture and the whole thing. So I make those. And in each kit you get a set of 10 brushes. So we're going to use not all of these, but that's the brushes we're going to use. So if you wanted to order that 10 brush kit, which I think I get on Amazon. I get them in bulk, but I'm sure they have fewer things. You can reuse them. They rinse out really good. Yeah, worth the money is what I guess I'm trying to say. Okay, let's paint. We're going to paint a fish, and I'm excited. I like painting fish, and I love painting on a black background because if you make an oopsie, we can erase it with black paint, and that's the best thing ever. And this one, we're going to get a little flowy and then check it out when we're done. And if we don't really like all the flow, we can erase it. So that's what we're going to do. So I guess we're going to start with, I would say, a 1/2 inch rounded brush. And we're going to go into, first we're going to get it wet. Damp, not dripping, just damp. Everybody is enjoying their leaves on their branches. Hi. Yeah, I don't have treats for y'all today. I don't think you guys can see them, but there's a ton of chickens waiting for me to throw them treats. But they've already had treats, so they're way good. We're going to go into the dark blue paint. And we're going to paint the body of our fish, which is essentially just like an oval with a pointier end at one end. And once we get some paint on there, we're going to kind of dab it we're going to look like scales, essentially. So by tapping, we're going to create some fun motion in our paint, which I will show you in a second. So all I did was wipe the paint on, and now I'm just giving it all a good kind of a tap to resemble, some scales. Do you see my fish? You can kind of see my fish. So he's aiming like he's this way, and he's going to blow have some air bubbles kind of floating up. He's going to have flowy this way, and a big tail kind of flowy this way. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Oops, I went into the wrong paint. That was my bad. We're going to rinse that out a little bit. And go back into the darker paint. Well, this fish is going to have a lighter face than his body, which is fine. You can barely tell. All right, and we are going to do a little tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. All right. Body of our fish. See, his face is a little bit lighter. It's fine. Totally fine. I'm not going to rinse the brush because I might want it again in a second, but I am going to switch to kind of a skinny, pointier brush. I'm going to get it damp, and once you get it damp, you can see that it kind of gets a nice point on it. There we go. Now you can really see it. We are going to do some fins in that same dark blue, and his fins are going to kind of flow like this. If you've ever seen a betta fish, they have very flowy fins. So we're going to do a few of those. We're going to add a bunch of colors into our fins, but essentially that's the beginning. He's going to have his bottom fin area that kind of does this. And whoop. And there we go. He looks kind of like a wonky spider right now. Kind of a wonky spider. All right, so now for his tail. His tail is going to have a lot of flow. Lots and lots of flow. And we're going to go like this. All right. You see it? Yeah, you can see it. Hello, chickens. Yes, I see you. We're just going to kind of add a few. We can always add more of this color later. We're just getting our basic flow of the fins and some color. Flowing of the fins and some color. What was that? 5 minutes? And we've already gotten like a fish on our canvas. Whole deal. It's like, bam. Just like that. All right. I'm going to add one more of that because I have some paint in my brush still. There. Okay. We are going to rinse that color out and let that dry for a second. Cardio. Whoops. I don't want to dry my paint. Let's do that. Bop, 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 bop. Hi. Hi. Yeah, the girls are eating leaves and you're bop-bopping in my ear. Bop, 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 bop. Yeah. Bop, 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 bop. Okay, I think we're good. We're going to go back to that same brush that we did his body with. We're going to get some more of that dark blue paint. And we're just going to brighten this up a little bit with more. Because sometimes color doesn't like to cover on black. It tends to get a little dark. So if you do 2 coats where you want it to be lighter, and it will brighten up this fish. This betta fish have a lot of color. They're beautiful, beautiful fish. All right. I'm just tapping. That's all I'm doing. Tapping. And it's going to give us some scalish type of look. While I have the dark blue on my brush, I am going to go into some of that light blue. I kind of liked his face a little lighter. So we're going to keep his face nice and light. And this, if you're wondering what this is going to be, that's going to be his eyeball. Yeah, this is eyeball. All right. All right, so he's going to have a nice light blue line that goes down his back. Like that. It's pretty amazing already. All right, we're into that light blue still. Gonna make this line a little thicker. and then kind of fade it down. Fade it down. A little thicker and fading it down. Okay. There. Now he has a nice light blue. All right. We're going to rinse this out of the brush. And with our pointy brush that we did all the fun things with. Hi, Cece. Mommy's painting. This is Cece, who just had a baba, so should not need to be biting on her mommy's fingers. Her name is Carrot Cake. And she is the cutest little thing. She's this year's baby. Little over 5 months old now, I think. She's super cute. She has blue eyes. Huh? Yeah, it's super cute. And you're going to eat my finger. Yeah. You just had a baba, honey. Yeah, I know. Can I? Nope, we're not biting my finger. No, no, we're not. Okay. So the lighter blue paint on that pointy brush that we did the fins with, we're going to add some light blue fins in with those darker blue wavy things. And they can overlap. We can do more dark blue in a minute. And we're trying to just keep everybody like nice and flowy. Nice and flowy. There. I'm loving that. Yeah, baby. All right. And then we'll do some in his tail. Cece, honey, go eat your branches. You love leaves. You don't want some? Or you had enough? You had enough? Okay. All I'm doing is adding the light blue to his tail, if anybody's wondering what I'm doing down here. There we go. He's coming along nicely. So while we have this light blue, this is the color for around his eyeball. So we're going to do, I'm going to tip it upside down so I don't stick my finger in the paint anymore. All right, we're going to do the outline of his eyeball in this light blue color. And it's a pretty thin line. Pretty thin line. And then it's going to get like this really cool, like little blue highlight. Look right there. I know. I know. I love it. I love it too. We're going to give him a nice light blue nose area. Yeah. I think he needed a little zhuzh on his nose there. I think it's good. He's going to be swimming kind of like that. Blowing bubbles. Up, up, up. All right. Let's do some more colors. All right. Rinse that out really good. And we did not. While we're doing that, we'll give it a little wave. And I just put my paper towel in my paint on my palette. All right. Guess we're not going to do the wave over there. Let's do the wave over here. Look, now she's eating the branches. She's so stinking cute. There's a chicken laying on the ground, like underneath the leaves, like it's going to save her from the sunshine or something. It's too funny. Okay. I think while we're waiting on the body part to kind of dry a little bit, we're going to do some purple. I have two purples. I have like that darker and then like a pinky purple. We're going to do the darker purple. And I'm just going to do a few really thin in his fins. And if you're looking for thin, you want a pointy brush, and you can kind of swirl it a little bit on when you're picking up your paint, and it brings it to kind of a point. Little tip there. And we're just going to add some beautiful purple into his fins. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. This is one very colored fishy. Put some in his tail. You still see her? If I'm just doing lines, so I don't want to block the goats. Want you to be able to see the babies. All right. There's my fishy. Some of my fishy. Most of my fishy. Half my fishy. All right. I'm going to go right into the like light purpley pink color. And I'm not going to rinse my brush because it's not that much of a difference. If you want to rinse your brush, go ahead. Rinse it. Light pink. And he's going to get, I don't know if you can hear that. If you can, I'm really sorry. There, every now and again, there's just like obnoxious, loud, just because they can, I guess. We're going to do a nice thin line on his back and then kind of fade it in. Yeah. In a second, we're going to add some light scales. Same light color, and we're going to add some more to his fins. Did I just touch that? Yeah, I did. Don't forget, if we make an oopsie, we can fix it with black paint. Let it dry. Let it dry. Then paint over it with the black. Let that dry. And then fix however you need it to be fixed. All right? There is no freaking out when you're painting with me. No reason to freak. No reason at all to freak. All right. Let's add some in this tail. That one got a little white on me, but I'm not sure if I mind it. Let's see it in a minute. And if I do, go over it with another color. We can go back into that dark blue that we started with. And make some more dark blue ones. Oh, he's so pretty. He, she. We're going to rinse color out of our brush. And I'm going to go into, it's the same kind as we started with. It's like a roundy, but this one's smaller. And I'm going to go into that light pink, purpley thing that we had right there. Very dry brush this time. Not a lot of paint on it. Very dry. And we're going to just add some lighter scales up near this pink line. Very dry brush. We're just tapping to get the hint of some light pink highlighty scales on his back. Maybe his scales are glistening in the light from something. The moon. Oops, let's turn that one off a little bit. There we go. Just lighten the top. All right. He's going to get a mouth. He's going to get gills right here. And he's going to have a little more detail in his eyeball. And he's going to get some white added to all of this. And then, I mean, I think he's looking pretty good. I'm going to add some purple, darken this up down here towards the bottom. And we got a fish, man. We got a fish. All right. Same little brush. Not a lot of paint. And we're going to dab some darker purpley scales on the bottom. If you go out of your line, we can go over it with black. Remember? Okay. So we're just going to add a little darkness to the bottom and fade it up in. There we go. It's subtle. You'll be able to see it better in a minute. Maybe not. I don't know. While we're right here, let's do his gills. Because I feel like he's not looking like a really cool fish until he has his gills. And his gills are going to live right there. So there we go. So that's the pointy brush that we've been using for all of his fin work. And we're just going to give him his gills. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. Blub, 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 blub. All right, we're gonna define his tail a little tiny. Yeah. All right. Let's go into some white. So we'll rinse all that black out. We're gonna do some white next. This is really gonna brighten things up. She is literally like laying in the chair, doing nom nom on the branches, like laying down. But she's so freaking cute. All right, we're gonna add some white to our pointy brush. We're gonna do just a few in our fins. And you don't want these to be like big crazy. Unless you like a really light fin, then have at it. This is just gonna lighten things up a little bit. Dude. Pretty good. All right. Let's add a bunch to his beautiful tail he's got going on here. We're just kind of following the same flow. Same flow. I think he's stunning. Okay, we're going to turn the brush over. We're going to give him some little dots in his eyeball. One towards the center, and then a littler one back up a little bit. All right. Then we're going to add some bubbles, because he's blowing bubbles. Yeah, baby. So the bigger bubble you can do with this end if you want. I just find it to be easier to control the other end, but I mean, it does it. It's fine. And you can or you can get a bigger brush and bubbles floating out of his little mouth. He's so cute. All right, rinse it off the handle before I make a mess of myself. And then I am actually thinking probably done with the white. So let's get that out of there too. Where are we at? 25. All right, we're going to add a little bit more detail to our, oh my God. Okay, first we're going to fix the bubble that we just touched. Gone. Painted it with black. Like it never happened. You really should wait for it to dry. I'm not gonna. In the interest of time, I'm not gonna. Just have to be more careful where I stick my fingers. I don't enjoy using an easel, and sometimes that's what happens when I don't use an easel. Because I don't use an easel. Fifi's going to town on those leaves now. All right, lighter blue. Let's zhuzh up some of this fin, or this gill, I mean. So I'm going to add a little lighter right in front of his gill. Just highlight it a little bit. You can see it. Yeah, every little detail-y thing like that really makes things stand out. I want to kind of dab that though. All right. I don't know if I like that. It'll be fine. I'm going to add a little white to highlight his mouth part a little bit more. Kind of. Kind of. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I keep telling myself it's fine, but it's really not. Let's dab it down a little bit. I think I kind of fixed it. Yeah, it's better. All right. What else do we think he needs? More dark blue in his tail. I like it. Let's do it. This is a layered, which I know you hear me say it like all the time if you watch my videos. We're doing a layered painting today. But it really is. Like, keep going back and adding the colors that you want him to have. Him, her, it. You want it to have. And if you want him to be a little thicker in spots, go for it. And fill in some of those like areas that we kind of left black. And fill those in with a little bit of a thicker, or you can leave them and let it be like a very skinny, flowy tail. It's your painting. Do it however you want it to do. All right. I think I like it. I think I like it a lot, actually. Went into the wrong color on my... But we're fine. It's fine. All right. Did feel like I kind of set my fingers in this a little bit. So let's just give it a little love tap here. What else do we think this needs? Nothing? What do we think? Kind of a chubby little fish. Blub, 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 blub. I don't know. I think I kind of like him the way he is. So, if when you do yours, you're like, oh my God, I hate something, whatever it might be. I'm going to just do a clean brush. I'm trying to rinse it out. Skinny brush or whatever kind of brush into your black. Everything is pretty much dry on mine. And we can, fix it. Like just go, woo. Maybe we don't like that fin part right there. Maybe we don't like this little white that went a little awry right here. We're erasing it. It's gone. Gone. Absolutely just gone. But I kind of like everything the way it is. I don't really want to take off too much just to show you. Tidy that a little bit. If your fish is too fat, skinny him up with some black. If that only worked in real life, that would be amazing. Amazing. Just wear black and look skinnier. All right. I think we're going to call our fishy well done. What do you think? I think I like him. I think he's great. Yeah. All right. I know that's clear. But anyway. Well, we got to see pets, eating things. We got to paint a fish. I'm going to sign it. That's the only thing I have left to do. And I feel like we're done for the day. So thanks for hanging out with me and my pets. And signature on. Paint is done. Done, done, and done. All right. We'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out with everyone, even though everybody left me again. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.